Right now at 5:30, the Gaston County man accused of murdering his own cousin with a crossbow will testify. Queen City News chief legal correspondent Seema Iyer breaking that news within the past hour. And she is the only reporter that is covering this trial gavel to gavel and joins us now live from outside the courthouse.
So Seema, I have to ask you, are you surprised to learn that James Michael Rick will be testifying in his own defense? And what should we expect when he takes a stand?
I'm not surprised, only because I've been sitting in this courtroom even before the jury was selected during the pretrial motions. And because during those pretrial motions, the defense attorney was saying it was an accident, it was an accident, it was an accident, I thought to myself, if you look at the law and if you're trying to take away that element of intent, who's the only person who could get into the defendant's mind? The defendant. So he had an obligation to testify because there was no other outside evidence that could provide the foundation for saying it was an accident. It has to be him. And what we can expect is, I think we're going to expect some tears, because even when he was talking to the judge and the judge was questioning him about waiving his rights and getting on the stand, he started tearing up. He said something to the effect of, the family needs to know the truth. And even during phone calls that were played for the jury today, he was crying when he said he learned about Joyce's death, and this was after Joyce's death, even though he knew about Joyce's death. So we could expect perhaps some crocodile tears. I expect that he will be testifying for a very long time. It is a very long, complicated set of facts because it starts before the actual killing, and then it leads up to all the events from when they were captured. Remember, they went down to Myrtle Beach together, he and Melinda Robinson. So there's a lot of testimony there. Of course, we can expect that he will be throwing Melinda Robinson very much under the bus. We'll hear a lot about deer hunting, and of course that this was in fact an accident, guys. And that starts tomorrow morning, I believe, at 9:30.
Okay, well, I mean, of course, when you talk about emotion, his family member, his cousin Joyce, did die, so understandable there. But let's go back to who did testify today. Earlier today, Melinda Robinson, to remind everybody again, is Rick's ex-girlfriend. She finished testifying pretty quickly with a lot less fireworks than she had last week, but we did hear that sparks really flew outside the presence of the jury between the lawyers. So what happened?
Okay, this was really something. So the lead detective was testifying. He talked about the different interviews he conducted, and all of these interviews are on video. So instead of putting the video into evidence and playing it for the jury, they just argued about putting the video into evidence and that the lead detective would give a summary. So this is where sparks flew, and that is the question of whether the defense had any objections. Take a look and we'll talk about it on the other side.
We provided it to the defense in July of 2019.
And I've watched it a dozen times.
And has not provided us any redactions.
I've not been asked for any redactions.
Well, it's up to you to come up with your objections, not up to the state to.
Well, I can't object till the trial starts, Your Honor.
Okay, let me say these lawyers are excellent, prosecution and defense, but think about medical records, right? So there are things that have to be redacted in terms of personal information. And the same obligation attorneys have. If you don't want something into evidence, and Mr. Hoyle, the defense attorney, has had this since July of 2019, I've never heard of this before. I mean, usually a defense attorney would go through the whole video, make a transcript, or you say, I want from this time to this time to be redacted. You cut it out, you re-edit it, you go back and forth through the prosecution, and this is in fact your obligation. Also, what was also confusing is a lot of times you put things into evidence subject to redaction, but the judge was very hesitant to put this into evidence, and they didn't even discuss this issue of, hey, let's just get into evidence, let's move this case along, and we'll worry about the redactions later. Also, my final point with this that I think it's important for our viewers to understand is that when the detective was bringing this evidence in, specifically about Melinda Robinson and other witnesses, it is hearsay, but it comes under an exception, and that's what's called corroboration. The jury has to know that what Melinda Robinson and other witnesses said close to the time of the event is in fact the same thing they are saying now, to take that and assess their credibility. Guys?
See, if I was on the jury, I would have wanted to see those interviews played in court. I mean, after listening to that, do you think it's a good move, really, by the prosecution to just put them into evidence without playing them?
Brian, I felt the exact same way. I don't understand, why wouldn't you play them? Why would you rely on the jury to watch it themselves? Because also, don't you want that moment to like watch the jury? As a lawyer, you want to watch the jury and watch them engage. I've seen thousands of tapes played in evidence. You know, we're all following the Johnny Depp trial, watching those videos played in evidence. You want the jury, you want to watch the jury watching the videos. And we were in fact robbed of all that. I don't understand why the prosecution do that. And then this is a big question mark. Will the jury watch it on their own? We shall see. But again, the breaking news of today is that James Michael Ricks said he's going to testify. Let's see if he changes his mind. It's always a possibility. Brian, Alicia.
Seema Iyer, thank you so much.